fell from the sky. Blue liquid flowed out of the meteorite after hitting the ground. The liquid ran down the rocks to the outside of a pipe in a mountain spring. Drink the mysterious liquid in one sip. At first, men just feel a little whoosh. The body is normal, but when he went back after a day's work, he still felt sick to his stomach. In the evening, he found a random place to have a drink. I just took a sip and my stomach ached violently. Man palms hard. The water glass in front of him was actually crumpled into a ball. The cigarette butts under my feet are also floating in the air. Fart hard. The stomach finally stops hurting. I saw that the tables and chairs outside were in chaos. I thought it was a drunk man cursing and telling him to go home. The man staggered home, lying in bed wanting a cigarette. Reached for the lighter. Suddenly, the lighter flew into his hand. He was stunned. Did I read it wrong? Just then, he receives a phone call. It was my daughter who called. He said his mother died. He had to put down the lighter. Hurry to the funeral to see your daughter. The two did not hug and cry. You're sitting on one side. It turns out that he divorced his wife due to debt in his early years. The young daughter has been brought up by her ex-wife, and this is the first time my daughter has met his father since she became an adult. He just wanted to ask his daughter how his ex-wife died. A group of people broke in outside the morning hall. This group of people is from the demolition team. It was they who killed the man's ex-wife. Daughter and ex-wife opened a fried chicken shop, but the government says it wants to rebuild the area. The daughter refuses to leave without reasonable compensation. As a result, group of people to the door of the store forcing the mother and daughter to leave, but accidentally hit a telephone pole. Bad guys forcibly pull her mother out of car. As a result, he accidentally threw the woman to the ground. Now the people in the demolition team take out a little pension. I want to ask the husband and daughter to calm down. Of course, the daughter refuses to throw the money in the face of the other party. The whole process of scolding. Cowardly, his father stood by. Don't dare to say a word. It turns out that my father is a softie. On the way back, he was in a low mood. I suddenly thought of the disdainful look in my daughter's eyes just now. A wave of chagrin came to my mind. Wave your hand. He then remembered if he had any superpowers. He rushed home and put the lighter on the ground. An idea, the lighter smashed into his forehead. So he stretched out his hand. Shoot a little harder. The lighter on the ground actually flew into his hand. The wine bottle rises out of thin air. Guitar bottles and jars are also floating in the air. A bold idea came to mind. The idea is not to save the world. Instead, go to a KTV nightclub. The owner who found this place said he had a special talent. I saw him reaching out and easily lifting the ashtray into the air. Boss froze. I can't see any mystery. Ask him how he did it. The man says it's just a magic show. As for the principal, it is a trade secret. In this way, he successfully got a job as a nightclub magician. Resigned from his old job as a security guard. Sure enough, no matter how powerful the superpower is, it can only be turned into accumulation on a waste wheel. At this time, my daughter's community is facing government demolition. But because the black-hearted demolition team did not pay compensation, he's rallying the community to stay and resist. Let him leave it alone. He can also support his daughter now. But the daughter refused. He said the community holds back memories of his life with his late mother. Two people have a big fight. The daughter is even more emotional because her father rarely accompanies him. After scolding him, she left. But at this time, he saw that the demolition team had assembled a group of younger brothers. He rushed back to the community. Sure enough, I saw the demolition team force their way in. One of them grabbed his daughter's hair and committed atrocities against him, but was stopped by 3 workers. A worker was thrown flying by his refinement. 2 more people want to go. It turns out that this superpower can not only do magic. A group of workers rushed towards him. Push hard and hit the person, and it will be bounced off. The workers fell to the ground without resistance. The captain of the demolition team was stunned. What kind of ghost is this? Reached out and controlled one of the fat men. First twist his hand around. Hang him up high. The other party begged for mercy and that's when the police arrived. A group of people were called to the police station. Since neither side has been able to produce favorable evidence, the police let them go just for verbal education. After this incident, people in the community have made a big change in their opinion of the male lead. And he also used his abilities to empty a pile of parts in a van, put a high wall at the border of the community, prevent demolition teams from breaking in. He gradually let go of his hatred for his father, willing to eat at the same table as my father. It will also remind him to use less superpowers. Don't wait. There will be any side effects. The video of him with superpowers has been widely reprinted on the internet for no reason. Experts speculate that he used a banned high-tech weapon. The incident soon attracted the attention of the police. The next day, 2 policemen came to take him. To avoid implicating my daughter, he decides to get into the police car obediently. This is all a conspiracy by the demolition. It turns out that a female boss on the demolition team heard about the male lead. He was incredibly powerful. They even ordered the police to mobilize a large number of special forces. The daughter is holding on. Keep throwing Molotov cocktails to resist the opponent's advance. The police directly dispatched excavators to tear down the wall in the community. Her daughter was injured, and she had to be helped to escape by the residents. He was locked in the police station, met, and saw the news on TV. The police turned it off and didn't want him to see it. He took the police officer's phone the moment he saw her daughter was injured. He was furious. A thought handkerchief was easily untied. Closing his cell door was like a bamboo stick being tied in half in an instant. Everything in the police station floated up in the air and was smashed down again. He jumped out of the window and fled the police station, then fly into the air to find the trace of her daughter. The body suddenly softens. Falling from the sky, it turns out that he has not fully mastered superpowers often, but he doesn't have time to practice. When he arrived at the scene, he saw an uncle clutching the iron fence and about to fall from the tall building. He saved the uncle in time. The man asks where his daughter is. He said it was on the roof. He flew over with 4 swords. Who knows, the ability is out of control. I saw dozens of enemies standing in the building. Without saying a word, he first used his mind to kill a few people and the enemy. By taking advantage of the large number of people, he took the opportunity to spray him with a fire extinguisher. He actually carried dozens of people. With a wave of his hands, he knocked down 2 people again. The enemy is soon overwhelmed. He did not embarrass him. He went out the window, he went to the roof. Just arrived at the rooftop, strong practice dialectics. Not everyone around. The rest of the SWAT team collapsed again. Obviously, even the special forces are ordinary in front of him and can't be more ordinary. The SWAT only saw their comrades fall one by one inexplicably. But no trace of him can be caught. Come out of the smoke with ease. Just then, he finally saw his daughter. He's in a shipping container. Containers were dropped in the air and teetering. He uses electricity to forcibly move the container to the roof. But at the last moment, the man's main foot accidentally detached. He rushed towards his daughter like the wind. And luckily, he managed to catch her before she landed, and he watched her open her eyes. The father was so excited that he cried. "Send my daughter back to the building." He slowly flew in front of the SWAT team. All the SWAT officers panicked. He first came to the demolition captain and punched the bastard as a lesson. Then stretch out your hands. He's turning himself in, although he can indeed fight the police. But it also poses a danger to the daughter. He doesn't want his daughter to take risks. After a few years, he was successfully released from prison. The person in charge of the demolition team was found by the government to have misstated the project fee, and his daughter reopened a fried chicken shop. Business is still booming. He uses his superpowers to control the glasses. The performance of the special salesperson has also made the business of the fried chicken shop more and more popular. He can be very warm. Go to a nightclub and be a magician. Make your daughter happy with her superpowers. Some people say that the male lead is too small. Little do you know that he is just the best father that loves his daughter so much.